Hi guys, and welcome to another review on this one. Another review of and you and my are here to review this week's on the Night Raw. Now I've just a couple programming. I've actually you're a camera roll this week, so we won't have to deal with the video cutting out and the having to split it into two parts. This week I also won't be reviewing SmackDown again this week due to time constraints due to time constraints and until SmackDown improves it might not be such a bad um choice to do that. But like b- before we get into the crux of the review, I would actually like to say a brief sort of summary to what we saw last night. I thought um I thought as a go home show for Raw, it did provide um it did provide some good um it did it did it I'd provide some decent enough um stuff and then like odds to the Pat McAfee and Gunther match. I'd just like I, I'd just liked a bit more sort of development between Penta and Omni Mysterio rather than just having the announcers actually announce it right after Penta his match with JD McDonough. But nitpicks aside, I thought it was a decent enough show. So we get another a show with the World Heavyweight Champion Jey. So, he comes out, he does his usual he hands and he's get the kids on and down the stairs with from like say, Trapper. Yeah, it's yeah, and he's like Hogan Paul here so he calls out Hogan Paul, but it's a far more it gets a far more entertaining Paul Heyman, and so basically Heyman does his usual intro and catch for, for is and he said um to me and he gets another and Jay I have something to tell you and and Jay sort of responds with hey I know what you did to my cousin, I know what you did uncle onto the about you they didn't listen and then him in the response with oh well um maybe I should have wanted to about you if you're only go that far, you also turned on the woman and it basically goes into detail about why it on CM Punk first. He turned on CM Punk because yes, yes, Punk's his best for the end, but he caused friction that killed off the business sort of relationship him and Roman Reigns had, and the crowd start cheering for Punk, but Heyman says you can cheer him, but you don't know what's in his bill at heart. So basically, he then he then moves on to the Roman Reigns, um, and explains it was me that out of Roman Reigns to be the unstoppable, undisputed um champion for over 1,000 years, and then that him that Um, it was him that strategized all that and got the power on joined together, and it wasn't him that lost, it wasn't him that lost to Odero owns at WrestleMania for, or it was, um, it was Roman Reigns, but what Roman Reigns after the match. He went home, and he went home. He discarded me anyway. If to me after anyway, if to me after Ongins, Jacob Van Uren so was it what it was if to me fan for on myself, and basically on and basically it was on to say Roman Reigns is only bothered about the a flower. That's all he cared about. He didn't come back to avenge me for souls for souls. I did a power until ein power on bombing me for able. He came back to the to amnesty. To, this is a tribal chief. Um, and he also said that Orleans was scared about him and revealing Roman's secrets to see Punk, etc. And he get hired to the Diesel oil from both of them. That's what I decided to side to of the future of the industry for Owens, and then I will have a favor I want to ask you, Jane, how these favors work. Um, so my favor, you, as you can pick you can pick the oh, ace that you're defeated for that World Heavyweight Championship, and your heart you need the belt, but um, but, 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 oh, if for Owens he could use the lot, that it used, and I don't think you'll be ever ready, uh, ever ready to control that hour, and then Gio so kind of back aiming up into the corner or in and he said, um, and then, and then, and he said, oh, let's have the World Heavyweight Championship match tonight honor all us, oh, it's us if Ansel and obviously he signs that off if the and that's basically the end of the first segment. So the first match that you have on this card is Penta versus JD another necessary end match from what us to eat, but obviously, after a Penta makes his entrance and before JD McDonough can make his, you see you see him and sort of report back to um so or a report back is for the Owens and on Buddy or and he says he says for Owens I can't believe he fell for the and Owens and Owens is yeah who just so um and and so I on the you see Brombury current short now at it eat a bit of jelly a saver from this segment because of obviously but on with the is like 'cause obviously, cause obviously, but on the basically, what I said getting shot and him and basically, he said, did, did you understand what's going on? He'll let me just drop some info on you. For once defeated the I guess name and the history also defeated Punk is actually sis and he was the era apparent the her own so so firstly to get that I oh it's important for the future of the industry. So enter segment here and then we get to the JD on a pen. That's a good back and forth here on actually got a, a fair chunk of offense but for the sake of quickness, this will kind of skim over some of the basic parts of the match. Um, Obviously, as well during the ad break as well, because JD McDonough was accompanied by Finn Balor and Carly Oh, on the outside there was like a pool of distractions as you show JD McDonough took in Charo during actually I'd break with it as you know UK subscribers to Netflix get these extra bits of segments during my matches and promo so it might be of your you from a US friends to maybe invest in a VPN. Oh, I'm not sponsored. So you get back in pen as the arts and start to come back and start arts roll off instigator. He has a sling bill done JD McDonald's my ass anyone hands in my ass face cause it's usually you and on your back but like the way he pen a hits swing lead you and on your front so basically basically that's what happened to then a little I her into the sides painted the sides to take to um to take to the to take to the top rope. Out comes um out comes Chad Gable who basically has all our ego just before or came on in air as became and speed champion and I'm sure that's good and I'm sure that's good news for all you WWE fans and Joy and able but sad that with the WWE speed just doesn't really do it for me. Anyway, Chad Gable attempts to knock out Chad Gable attempts to knock out Penn off the rope, but Penn succeeds in kicking him off. So, so the end of that I was on I would spend and then to get more offense or any hits the Mexican and the or just acts up McDonough stacked up McDonough for the and a good competitive match here and it keeps paying as it keeps paying as momentum actually on, which is good. Obviously the camera pans back to my cafe and my Michael and Michael. Oh, obviously he confirmed obviously he confirmed that Penn is going to be challenging Dominic Mysterio for the ICL and so yeah so here's another addition to the card obviously by age and the judgment day obviously by Age and the Judgment Day kill of House have Dominic Mysterio and the rest of the Judgment Day us and the rest of the Judgment Day both reacting to the news of the IC title being defended by Ash. I should actually say the men's IC title because both for being defended on this card. But in comes AJ is the in comes AJ Styles said and he said Archer let me Archer let me another skill on post is very easy to find, and I just want to let you know on whoever ends between you and Penta, but I kill Ash. I'm in line for a title shot, and the Dominic says about have been around because all of my organs for Alman with Lieutenant Tokyo eyes if you didn't already know, but it says for a photo of and obviously be in a champion it's hard and I've got AJ Styles on my ace or a show or after but I kill Ash any turns or then he turns around to Finn Balor and asks and can you take your AJ for me and and I'll at first as well like um as well like so I've so well I'm just here to not pure so I'm just here to kill not pure S armor and um and and it says to um and they have also battle the the judgment I'll take either of that so that all it done to next week's episode like as it's confirmed that we are on and and um and proceedings. So then we so then we go backstage so and we go backstage um and American made and then a are in conversation are in conversation about all this with the tag champion tips and the new uh, yeah I can't believe that eventually that that eventually they will have to defend to the tag titles against the already Osanarí Yima Ach and um anime and an American me to be a significantly barbo or brain or a rematch so basically so basically in a new he said you guys deserve an you guys deserve an opportunity is at these else so so basically after all that exchanges he be kill and and in the middle of all of the year and because the rest are all heels they offer some sort of oh there's no comfort uh, but yeah but how higher with some on another wrong situation and actually he says appreciate that guys so she still see me example it the ring but before all that um um but before that we get a get a bit of foreshadowing um get a bit of foreshadowing after very likely Arin Ross face um um is on so basically a Hammondsk are around up the um um around up the wall up Sharipa up obviously in traffic hell he then asks Ross what is your reaction to Sami Zayn um Sami Zayn attempt to do the right thing and or also on on Sami Zayn Sami Zayn is trying to do the right thing by shedding his past and the OG power until einen trying very good I is trying to help out and obviously um I know obviously he asked um he asked the kid out responded you think Abigail even with the joint for all the is well action and and here's the other on she's like next response and they basically if all was a lot if I'm not special I'm not special I'm the evolution of season of Ocean och man imper an imper it is livet au Aaron that's or this will occur on each so in the segment, and it's good. It actually you see carrying or else get this sort of ush starting because I actually deserves it. Um, um, and I hope they commit to this because carrying cross is actually carrying cross is one of my favourites on the roster or at the moment. Um, and obviously, Scarlet Bordeaux, just oh, looks incredible to be honest. They should be like a gothic version around is savage and so Elizabeth as if get the because as if get the unmistakable beauty that is Scarlet and you get the bar on the of I in the macho horse I the carrying cross. But anyway, I thought it was a good bit of character development. So then we get uh, Kale and coming out and she basically tries to do a follow up to the past to the past of oh, um eeks she opens a promo by the spontan to the crowd by saying oh 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 us you think yeah, and like the, and she said, all I did to him is take out the garbage bail. He has been garbage for a 60, um, um, for 60 years, and you can probably make a drinking game out of, you can probably make a drinking out of how many times so and says there were garbage at the end she goes on to say oh I have a areas years being garbage the only reason why she has a fiance and has had two championship but it ends in the main or also or far as because he outcomes outcomes all outcomes all I love a area as soon as the music stops uh, you know and should respond um um uh, you know and should respond you in the this and this is the kind of actually respect I'm talking about. So so I gets on um and she he says um it'll be is a fine one to talk about Harvey each day. Um, basically, here this like I killing seems of she has done for the past and years. Um, and and she's the and she's the perfect for the chivalry side. A woman so either big and stick of promo as soon as she was down and never hanging and she's um and and he says I've lost it my ass to get my inner but it's equal a kill and she's a Ishmael and the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion, the first women to main event at WrestleMania. Yeah, of the um, I know obviously she cut herself off and she's about to say the first IC champion. She was um she was on the first ever women's and art and she cuts herself off and and she says, "Oh no, oh no, that's and then that's my but history, and as long as I'm standing in the sir and opposite from you, that's how it will um and then that's how it will stay he's the kill or either then goes on to say I've had more effect and sees the and you've shown up um and you've shown up and the number of dates you've shown up you've shown up to TV and all of this and and all of it so she then says all of it so she then says and you were on everybody's bed or like search everybody's uh, as if the same bed is not on or anyone doesn't have the passion for on it so obviously um s- so obviously there's a bit more of an exchange in the mic but uh, EO and so uses it and attempts a cheap shot or either or either opposite and she he hits a night and and cinema and never are on to uh, on to but um but yeah, the reason why the reason why the segment happened to them, it happened as they want you to think either as or a chance or in the championship. Obviously, I think obviously, I think the and as obvious, so yeah, I think the and as to have and have a really if or on if the and I see obviously in beginning I Ash another elevate the and all the Israel and children have either a feet or inch inch for the to eat the and to get over either over as a bigger or 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 so I'm still in the back. You see, I'm so in the back. You see, Adam, yes, and Geddes and all are chatting about Geddes and all us potential um opponent on the as a so but obviously we get a relation all or I think we're happy so the and Austin Erie shows up and so the Annie says so the Annie says if Erie remember I remember the big thing was my Acha said that years but E for obviously the so E I think you should have an obvious with an obvious with either the spawns obviously if either the spawns are you sure are you sure about you but I got opportunity and he's like ah and it was and um and it is so like okay as all on as all on the sure at the years of this year always I of this year always eyes la and obviously and obviously this aids to the reluctantly but hatch so Austin and Eric comes out and obviously it comes out um obviously he comes out with a racing all or who knows exact who knows exact oh he heard them as owning as and obviously it's shame is who you haven't seen since the Royal Rumble and the Indianapolis so basically it was more still, Seamus in this match as it's his big return. Austin area eventually was for his own battle. But us are in there, and but Seamus catches him after the Harley race like me, and basically only begins the beating down the Seamus. The only other foul, and the only other and the only other area of offense was obviously on the ad to break the he had um an obvious regulation all wasn't concerned about his supposed partner or if he's over in the corner or enjoying himself and obviously he's Seamus and obviously Seamus eventually hits the rogue hits the and Grayson all us get his back um get his back so so if the action facing and answers with after the you on its face and obviously is and obviously this is add a bit more context to the longest so on the longest so buns since the stone age basic kill so obviously as well they are trying to make us in Irredev and to beef is another weekend is in all all the men and a heel obviously around are not really into us and like I don't think the people are at home either or but Austin area especially could um funny he said he's been sort of lost in a shuffle he's been sort of lost in the shuffle ever since um ever since until lost the USL so so um s- so what's it eventually that to either the obviously is in the obviously is in the you, you have obviously is well in the back you have Chad able um Chad able and um and and Pia Caesar and Adam Pia yes Caesar office and in the bar Clifton um uh, him in the back with if the new he the order he us and um and obviously it's all able um able it's the or you American aid obviously yeah obviously yeah on an argument but in but in American made it and the always of um obviously obviously yes aside or there'll be a number on can and of my arch but in the always of and of the so American made to the and none of that my arch gets in you for the tag else obviously the this will happen next to each Adama Arjun so the end moment you get or Oxan Perez versus Yoski. I obviously obviously er Oxan Perez um comes out for us during the ad to or so she or she it's a or homo cause there's a couple of minutes away after the sad or so or she cuts a pro homo say and as in the last poem each and the last couple each I put the all kill them and no is I put everybody is for and for favorite rear probably on o is I put um I put your mummy in the I put your mummy the o or and then some Arnold champion EOS I on no o yes I'm the most Ari um email can put or an hast the of NXE am the longest or in an NXE women's champion have held the tag team championship and here and my name's up or DJ and I'm on open up and I'm ready to take that and I'm ready to take that championship. So out comes you Oscar I should get it's a tremendous reaction. Obviously Oscar is getting all over by the um by the unspeakable issues getting them really good with them our reaction. So Iosk I gets in it's in or I'm and essentially the two of them have a bit of a back and forth. Iosk I sorry usual suicide I've and but obviously here Roxanne moves out in the way here obviously here Roxanne Perez tries a similar maneuver it's more success out and well it could and awesome sky and a ring and awesome what she does what has eat and chops um and chops and chops away and chops away at the ankle and then in the oh get used I am very similar to the rear arch and for and very similar to the rear arch and for and very similar to the rear um arch and for and fi- and fi- and and furthermore has to eat and obviously and obviously this is like the is in the match and Ioska and Ioska I am continues to build offense Restaurant eyes to so and so he put the eggs and biscuit. I ends up with the double Holman Hoover R and gets a hook out on Perez and obviously um and obviously we are on get a series of all ups. I think it was six up. He's basically he showed that they are fighting for our control with these are all ups, but Ioska I eventually he rolls up or Oxan and gets a bit and gets the victory and obviously and obviously here Oxan's a bit shocked but but she gets up and she takes the hand of Eos I and obviously um I know obviously it turns out to be a ruse because after Ox actually goes out in the ring j- j- um j- 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 oh oh yeah shows up and attacks Eo Sky from behind and obviously Rock Sanj joins in obviously obviously the out chant of this way in the kind out and or Europe or Europe but she's in F or Australia promoting promoting a extra Avaganza that will cost millions for our fans to actually um for our fans to actually once bit he won't get into so you won't get into that so so anyway or so and we get or save an Otis and a and a and cherry essence of big and what Ash of the Titans hatch up obviously obviously the outcome of this was everything out but obviously the outcome of this was everything out but obviously but obviously Rusev hits his and he like off the ropes is Otis begins to come back and hits a couple of hits a couple of splashes on hits a couple of splashes hits a couple of splashes and on obviously near Rusev then each control and hits a sombo. Like he says, Rusev Osh and Oxen the Akil submission maneuver is tries to fight out but and so ends up uh, in out causing the submission and causing the submission victory for yourself. Yeah, yeah, again, a good, I did my, here I enjoyed it, obviously the outcome, obviously the outcome, I think everybody already knew what the outcome of the year, obviously a stable she's herself as a bad as heel, obviously in the Alpha Card, I mean, was actually so up into the ring to check on the as they were born inside on the match obviously my acting hardly he had to the old Gilroy's Orja act on from about in the 27. I don't know why I had decided um engineering, but as a old jack, uh, um, so basically that and into is because refused to let go of the hold, but then but then Edith Azawa decides to stand up herself and the match here is a- apparent because um Azawa is only yeah her result. So basic so basic kill here yourself is like for us it's like I've estimated a major not of it. So it is a home then on this back to check on Otis but the and the but the and the but then and the other seven it's back in a ring. It decides to destroy his album. I'll be when it decides to destroy his album or outhouse Kenny Ryan also around and on about obviously the episode was an ad or and you see obviously you see the ring side horror kinda hurry herself to the this to the back basically and they did a similar job in the part market fee segment here you saw part market feature I'll go to the backstage area obviously the next uh, obviously the next segment is in on part market a fee so obvious so a cafe or Eve's decor commentary possession obviously and Eos's and as an ring for on the previous segment and obviously in the segment or gets out and or and and obviously is like Jen obviously is like Jen and woman he put professional on the match at um at Ashes off if you get any final if you get any final thoughts heading into Saturday in how's the time to get it off your chest and pat my Akafi ends by saying um um again by saying to und um again by saying to and or how could you attack my how could you attack my Michael? Oh, how could you attack my Michael from what has to eat my Michael? Oh, has been with the company for 28 years and has only missed for events during his during his stay um and offended he has entered the uh, opinion it's him. So I'm so I'm so I'm so in my if he continues and obviously he says as I'm from Pittsburgh, in the USA, and you are from Australia, yeah, and you are from the Australia. We both had the same dream, same as I am, and the same passion, but the difference is, but the difference is, I still have that passion whenever I step in, uh, I know in, and arena my heart, eh, seasonal of my job, but you run on the hand to actually, you see, here as a job, you don't actually see it as a passion you've got on so off, and you continue with underestimating me, so and so and on the and James back to uh um so so damn you enjoy your and enjoy your and second but of either any um any you and he said and he says to me I if he I'm in the very best I'm in the very best shape possible for I mm, uh, I'm in the very best shape possible for I mm, Ash and it says it's good. It says it's good. Only be a it says it's only be a special time as as by the and he said to you, we're going to have to get grace of God. You're going to have to get grace of God behind it and all the the I'm a hands off young um I'm a hands off young could be secure and obviously um and obviously league and third and oh what's up Paul? If I'm gonna like oh I'm only like oh you until you're not often but until you're not often but I used and I will be secure it'll be a um it'll be a shot to اشترى I and اشترى I back ash obviously in the back you see Finn bow you see Finn bow or chatting obviously you see Finn bow or chatting or Roxanne or is chatting to the Roxanne or is in the back obviously um obviously we'll have to see obviously we'll have to see what the outcome of that obviously of obviously will involve obviously will involve this video somehow is Dominic Mysterio has a past a bit women eyes are basic kill so so yeah we'll have to see how that sort of obviously we'll have to see how that develops and then in the main event you have and then in the main event you have Jay Sofa versus for the Owens for the World Heavyweight Championship in a very competitive match despite the skill on affiliation. So so as always is so as always is Jay so was for a um was for an I've but the Amy except for all and over then and um if obviously for all catches his head as his as his um as his as his open obviously we go on the or he can say for all begins to have controls humping is on or or every chat asks or all if he's okay cause obviously cause obviously that's or I don't think I don't think we is already I don't think the spot was already and they land into that uh, and that um, into that escalation obviously obviously usually obviously usually and fighting uh, um was for the was for the super or all and catchy is a manapedig array at the and he only got 50% of it obviously obviously it's if was for the other and gets a uh, uh, out of the so obviously if obviously a home but is obviously it's a home but it's well home um obviously the style action from obviously the style action again and um obviously the style action again with Haro on obviously the style action again with Haro on happens before Ushokin happens after um Ushokin his his year in super uh, or offense and then any hits off on the rogues. Ash gets a count and the other action from other on the breaker owl. I was um owl. I was for Owens to hit this on also it kind of stalls before getting a out off the pan or obviously he says so obviously it says something in on the run but it was outcomes outcomes Sami Zayn jumps or out Aria or on but on breaker if someone acts and oh in um 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 in um in Rose's body in current to the panic in and of his way go within a mass of his way goes in a mass or the whole in or a separate whole and obviously but on break also on he hits his you're on Jay Hatches Ian Sami Zayn or Sami Zayn falls Sami Sami Zayn falls back um, and another year is for absolute ban each up of his away from the hack um obviously J obviously J or checks and Sammy's in Sammy's in but get it's the start that it's by and forget it's but on the run break us but um behind behind um and obviously that's and obviously he gets the same thus yeah another Owens another Owens hits another hits another um out um Punk if a chair and hits um and hits Buddy and hits Buddy uh um if it in the head and he jumps in and he jumps in and then starts some hanging for us for the almonds it causes the oh vacation so the jail so the means as it can um the it but it as you can because you can't use championships on you can't use championships on a skill or vacation so obviously obviously it protects off here and around to shut off the episode. You see Sammy's in CM Punk and Jay's was stand and s- and then around for all and just passed off and then and she's the episode obviously it's where you get all and Paul at the end obviously when some wasn't shown on the live broadcast and obviously but run break on absolutely annihilate it's just so you so of the punch um at at the end of the night obviously when the so be a match obviously has to be a match or the or Ash and Harris yeah yeah, I think because it shows not advertised on the card and the asthma actually what happened back to Ash because the card has been released and overall guys I give this an 8 out of 10 um of its win on as still on as last each episode but all it again after all it was a fun episode and itself of is just a couple one that picks obviously I'd like to seen a bit more development between Elio and Penn. But apart from that, I enjoyed it. So guys, only let me know your thoughts in the comments. In the comments section. I hope you enjoy. Um, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Asking, more asking, more asking, more asking. I and yeah, oh, me, uh, um, what so guys, that remember, remember, subscribe and hit the thumbs up on the thumbs and down and I know this one is sharing or like the comment in the comment section, but yeah, but yeah, I'll see you else.